Hi, Carolyn. How are you? I'm on time. I don't know if this was a bad idea. Hi, Feline. I'm good. It was hot today. I think when I looked at it's 80 degrees now. Hi, Mike. It was 92 at about 3 o'clock, something like that, because I came in from outside. It was hot, but it was okay. It was breezy but yeah, I was outside all afternoon. God, my eyes are all red. I was outside in the dirt, and look at how bruised my arms are. My right arm. Hi, Moonchild. It was 92 degrees. It was good though. I got some things accomplished that I had to do. So they said, I think my neighbor said it was supposed to be cloudy today, or there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Because of my hand, I had to, I guess, adjust. I have bruises everywhere because all I have to do is like this. I'm on an anticoagulant, and I'm in the summertime, I'm full of bruises. My legs, everything. And no matter how careful I am, I always manage to do something. My hair is crazy because I didn't take a shower. I just came in from outside. It did? I'm so glad. Yep. Saved you a veterinarian office visit fee and help the doggy. Yep. I try to take care of things myself with them, unless it's a problem that I can't take care of myself, like spaying them or something, or, dental cleanings that they have to have anesthesia for. But I mean, I clean their teeth. I was trying to cut Piper's nails on the deck before, and I think I was able to cut 4 or 5. So, yeah, I remember when I lived in Florida, it is friggin' brutal between 10 and 3. Yeah, lots of rain. 300, yep, for the vet visit. Oh, yeah. Of course, sometimes you can't help it. You have to go. But I belong to a few collie groups, and Holly, she used to get the tops of her paws. They have really, really skinny legs and skinny paws. So on her bony feet, she would get, around this time of year in August, they would get red, but they never bothered her. She was never biting at them or anything. And I took her to the vet, And the vet said allergies. And I said, I don't think it's allergies. So he gave me a prescription for Apoquel, which itself is very expensive, did nothing. So I brought her back. Actually, I didn't bring her back. I waited until her annual visit. And when I brought her, I said the Apoquel didn't, look at my arm, the Apoquel didn't do anything. I said, I think it's fungus. And so I think he gave me an oral antifungal and it worked. So my thing is, if it's not bothering them, leave it alone. Hey, how are you, Jane Sandra Hernandez? I bet you it's caliente in Texas. It was caliente here. It was breezy, so it wasn't that bad. So if it's not bothering her, and what I noticed is that she used to lay between, I had bushes in the back that I had taken out. Was it last year or the year before? Last year, I think. So she used to lay behind those bushes near the foundation of the house. And the bushes got taken out. And I put a vegetable garden in there. She hasn't had the issue with her paws. So I don't know if it was from the grass, from the soil, but I noticed that on the back paws that she would lay on top of, it was worse there. So who knows? I look like I stuck my finger in a light socket. I don't know. I just texted her, JSH. She said she'd be here. So I just sent her a reminder. So she said, thank you. Yeah. Carolyn, I have learned, first of all, I taught myself how to knit off YouTube. I learned how to replace electric sockets from YouTube. I learned how to replace the headlight assemblies on my Grand Cherokee from YouTube or from online or something, because you know how the fronts, they get all foggy, and I took it to a mechanic and said, you know, how much would this be? And he gave me some ridiculous price, because I thought you could just replace the plastic front piece. You can't. It's a whole like assembly piece. And he quoted me some ridiculous price. And I was like, he said, oh, the headlight assembly is $400 a piece. I went online. I got both for $100 or less, I think 90. And I watched my iPad. I watched a YouTube video, and I would pause it and do what they did. And I would play it again and then do what they did. The first one took me, I don't know, 40 minutes. The second one, between 10 and 15 minutes, I was done. I replaced the motor for the power window in the back seat of the Jeep. I've learned to do so many things. I learned how to clean the carburetor on the snowblower and the lawnmower. So, yeah, I do too, Feline. You know, my dad was an engineer, and he always used to go to the library to figure out how to do things the right way. Like, he built a raised garden bed in the back. I don't know if he had to go to the library to do that, but he used to like to learn how to do things. And there is a sense of accomplishment when you do it yourself and you do it the right way and you don't fuck it all up. So I try not to fuck it all up. I mean, some things I just can't do because I don't have the tools or the strength. So, and you can save a lot of money doing that too. It's just that either sometimes I need a second pair of hands, or I need to lift weights and get stronger. Yeah, you're right, Feline. You can learn how to do pretty much anything. If you wanted to build a house, you could probably learn Hello, Samoa. Nice to see you too. You could probably build a house, not fast, but I bet you if you went on different videos and you could figure out how to do it. So I would love to learn how to do woodworking. God, I look like a witch. But you really kind of need like a table saw for that. And I don't have one. I don't know how to use it. Like there are all these different kinds of saws to cut this way and cut that way. And my neighbor, he is I think it's called a master plumber, but he knows how to do everything. He converted the fireplace in their living room into a wood burning stove, and he did all the rock work and everything on the wall, and it's beautiful. And he built a shed in the back himself, just with raw materials, and it looks like a little house in the back. He said he priced it out, and they told him it would be between $12,000 and $15,000. He was like, no. He went and got the materials, he said, which were around $1,500, and he did it himself. It has shingles on the top, and it's cute. It's a cute little house. So, I mean, I've learned things about the dogs, things, everything is online, pretty much, even things that shouldn't be online. So just to keep with current health updates, hand is kind of better. I don't know if you can see, there's like a swelling in here. Right here is where 2 pins were, and there's a lot of scar tissue underneath here. So the hand therapist says what's happening, I can bend them pretty good. I don't have any strength, but it pulls all down here. Like you can see how tight. And then when I extend, I feel it back here. The scar tissue, which either from the pins or the fracture itself, is not allowing the extensor tendon to glide smoothly over the bone. So I can't extend this finger. So a little bit, the hand therapist really roughs me up when I go there, because she's trying to really massage to break up the scar and break up the fibrous tissue. So she goes much harder than I would. And I am swollen the next day. It's sore. If she pushes it, I will kind of like jump and ooh. But what hurts is the pulling in here. It's not really, and these ache, my joints ache. It's bizarre. And also it's backwards, like listing off this way. So I have all kinds of little gadgets today. I have all kinds of show and tell things for you today. So to try and make this go this way, it's called buddy taping. And she originally buddy taped it to the middle finger, but it was pulling the middle finger over. So I started strapping it to my index finger to try to pull it over more. I mean, this is the most effective way to just manually push it. Oh, they've got all kinds of things. And then this is a compression garment. It's actually not that tight. They did it by measuring side to side, and I probably could have gone with a small, but they, yeah, braces for the fingers. And I probably could have gotten a small, because these kind of feel like winter gloves. They're not, it's not really tight. So I might try the small instead, because I'm not exactly sure how much pressure they're supposed to be. I mean, I used to wear compression not stockings, but like knee highs at work. So my feet didn't swell and they were tight. Like this isn't super tight. So I don't really know, but I'm wearing it. I wore it to bed. I strapped all my fingers together. And you know, just trying to get the inflammation and the swelling down. So I bought these little things from Amazon, and I think it's technically for your face, but it's got little nubbies on it, and I just run it back and forth to try to break up some of that fibrous tissue. And then it comes with a teeny tiny one. So this is where I can get in where the pin site was. And I mean, this is not the most comfortable thing in the world. And it's weird because you can't even see the scar from this pin site and hardly see a scar on this pin site, even the scar from the surgery. I mean, you really can't even hardly see it. So to try to get, it's in such a precarious spot. So I just kind of get in there with this thing. Yeah, it doesn't feel that good, but oh, there's more. They had this little thing, or they have this little thing at the hand therapy place. It's not exactly like this. Don't laugh. Don't be laughing at my hand massager, but and it has different speeds. Yes, I sleep with the gloves or glove, like Michael Jackson. I don't know if it's tight enough to do anything. So, oh, screen is frozen? Not on mine. I'm not frozen on myself. So I kind of just hold it there and try to vibrate. And it has different modes. This one seems to be the most vibrating. Yeah. So there's that toy. And then some exercises to try to strengthen my hand. I mean, not for nothing, but I thought this was like no big deal when I broke it and I had the surgery. I mean, because when I had my elbow done, I was in a splint, I think, for like 2 weeks afterward. And when he took the sutures out, I expected him to say, well, you know, you have to go to physical therapy. I didn't do anything. He said, just go and live, do what you have to do. Your arm will tell you when you shouldn't be doing something. So I thought this was going to be the same. I would get out of that splinty cast thing and just go about my life. But I was in that splinty cast thing for 2 months total, from when I went to City MD to when she took the pins out, and she put me in a splint for like another week. So So this is all a little surprising to me, because when the surgeon said it's going to be at least 2 months before you can really make a fist with any strength, I was like, that's why she's the surgeon and I'm not. But anyway, so this thing will strengthen for extension, and it's a whole set of like a bunch of them. The green one is the lightest resistance, and then I guess, you know, the orange, you know, it's more and more and more and more. I guess they get like thicker, but they have something similar to this at Hand Therapy. It's actually a big disc that has holes in it. But I figured this, with all the graduated resistance, it would be better. So, but I have to get the scar tissue broken up. I see the hand surgeon on Wednesday. That'll be 1 month since I started hand therapy and added the splint for the final time. There are things that she can do. She would have to, first of all, do an x-ray to see if the scarring is coming from where the fracture is, because there is, you can feel it under the skin. It's a weird, it's not hard like bone, but you can feel it. It's a distinct feeling. As soon as you hit it, you know what it is. She said I may not get 100% function back. So we'll see. I mean, she can inject something into the scar tissue to try to break up the scar tissue, which, if that's what she has to do, that's what she has to do. But I don't really scar that bad, so I'm surprised that it would be scar tissue, but whatever. I just do what I do. I'm just glad to be out of that cast splint thing. So at least I can, you know, use this for something. But what's happening with this finger, is this frozen, or am I not seeing anybody's comments? Oh, darn it. I forgot what I was just saying. I just opened a window that I don't want. Okay. What else? I had things. Oh, what I was saying is, with this finger, it's causing a problem when I wash my face, because washing, but I really can't straighten this. So when I wash, my finger goes right up my nostril. So like I keep shoving my finger up my nose. Yeah. Yep. It's Moonchild. It's so weird because I never had any problem. I guess it's the pins and it like a foreign body reaction. One of my knee surgeries, the surgeon used some kind of, I don't even know what it was because it was so long ago, and I had a severe reaction to it. He had to go back in a couple weeks later and take out whatever it was that he used and put something else in, because my knee swelled up like a basketball. And I kept going to physical therapy. Finally, a physical therapist called the surgeon. She's like, I don't know what's going on here, but this keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you may want to take a look at it. And as soon as he removed whatever it was and put something else in, the next day, all the swelling went away. So I wonder if this might be kind of the same thing. Hi, Alice. So we'll see. I mean, oh, here's another one. So what you're supposed to do with these is twist them. I can't do it because I don't have strong enough grip yet. But also what I've been doing in hand therapy is putting it on a table, and then it's got these like ridgy things, rolling my hand back and forth on it to try to break up the scar tissue. And this is also like the least resistance. But in hand therapy, they have all these cool things to use and exercise. And she also started doing ultrasound on it to try to break it up. So I had things. I have to use the notepad on my phone because I still can't. I can write, like my signature, it's not neat, but to try to write anything, I still can't. So, yeah, so I had to write a list on my phone. Alice, what's the temperature? 100? Is it 100 or more there? Jane Sandra Hernandez is here, Alice, too. She said it was pretty steamy in Texas. So, yeah, on, I think once a month in the summertime, the town has these little, it's kind of like a street fair, a mini street fair, and they have live music and food and things like that. And this past Friday, they were going to have fireworks. So 104, damn. Damn. I mean, that's all I have to say is that's hot. That's freaking hot. So I forgot what I was saying, but the fireworks. So I wasn't sure on Friday which way it was going to go, because on 4th of July, it was overcast, but they still had fireworks. It got really, really cloudy on Friday. And I was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Do I dose up the dogs for the fire? So I ended up just doing it. And I guess the fireworks were canceled because there were never any boom booms going off, but it was cloudy. It was really cloudy. So, yeah, I slogged out the girls on Friday. Holly and Zoya are very bothered by it. Piper, I think you could probably blow a bomb up next to her and she wouldn't care. She's so unbothered by the same stimuli that bother the other two. The groundhog situation. No more groundhog. I think the dog scared the shit out of the groundhog and it took off and never came back. Yeah, that was, and every time I go out there, I think like, oh God, I'm going to get attacked by a groundhog. Did you guys see or hear about the woman that got attacked by the otters? I can't remember where that was, but were they tubing or something on a lazy river? And one woman said, hi, Beth. She was with her 2 friends, I think. And oh my God, I screenshotted the pictures. That otter tore her up. Her face, it ripped off half of one ear. The other ear, they had to suture back together. Feline, apparently, if they have babies, they are very aggressive. I didn't know either. I thought otters were cute and But I guess just like with any other animal with babies, they're very aggressive. And I mean, they were just floating down this river. And I think she said she saw 2 otters, but I think it was just one that went after them. And in the interview, she said that, otters are water animals. So she got knocked off the raft into the river and she couldn't touch the bottom. So she couldn't really get any leverage to fight them off. That must have been fucking terrifying. I can't imagine. They say otter, I looked up, they say that otters weigh around 20 pounds, which is really not that much, but they have those big teeth and big nails. And like she has a huge gash in her face. And she said, I'm lucky I still have my eyes. But they took her into the operating room because she needed so many sutures that they would have needed too much local anesthesia. There's a limit as to how much you can give. She would have needed too much. So they just brought her to the operating room, put her to sleep, and spent 5 hours suturing from head to toe. And I can't remember. She said she lost count. She doesn't know how many she has, but everywhere. It's like from head to toe. She has sutures. I know. Feline. She has sutures everywhere. I mean, can you imagine just floating down the river? I mean, my big fear is sharks because they're seeing sharks all over us. I was actually supposed to go to the ocean today, but I had things I had to do, so I didn't go. But we used to go in the ocean all the time. Never thought about sharks or anything, and now I guess they send drones up and they look for the sharks. I think the Suffolk County Police and probably Nassau County Police send drones up along the coast to look for sharks to make sure that they're not coming close to shore where people are swimming. So, yeah, I never knew that an otter would attack either. Holy crap. Well, feline, I think they said that the otter had babies somewhere around. So like even with bears, the most common scenario, where a bear will attack is a mother with cubs. That's in unprovoked bear attacks. So I've watched videos and heard interviews of people just, mountain biking through a park or walking through a park, and like a bear runs up out of nowhere. I don't know what I would do if that happened to me. I don't know that you're not supposed to look at them or run, but like, how can you really think, well, what am I supposed to do? Because I know with a bear, you're supposed to do one thing, and then with a mountain lion, you do something else. But even a mountain lion, just walking through a park or walking somewhere and like, holy shit, a mountain lion. I was watching videos, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I think I sent Alice one of a mountain lion walking through a neighborhood and just going up on people's yards. And really? Shark attacks are on men, even when I wonder why that is. Yeah, they say don't run. I don't know how you not. Oh, and there was another crazy one where a woman's forearm was literally like mutilated. A snake fell out of the sky, wrapped itself around her arm, And then a hawk came down to get the snake and just literally tore her arm apart. But a snake just fell. It must have fallen out of a tree. I'm sure snakes are not falling from the sky. That is so bizarre. I mean, hawks are huge and they have like 4-inch talons. Yeah, she'll be lucky if she keeps that arm. It's a mess. Oh, testosterone? Huh. Bigger meal. So, Piper, don't you be, I have all kinds of stuff over here. That's why she's Piper, stop. Oh God, please. Don't be bad. No. So, oh, I got another finger thing, but I just got it today. And there's this thing that you put around your wrist. Let's see. Oh, I see. And then this is funny. And it's like a hook, and it holds here, and you pull the finger things up. Whoops. So it stays on your wrist. And I can't even do that. That's hard. Whoever would have thought that this would have been so fucking difficult with this stupid hand. My screen isn't frozen, I don't think. I'm not frozen to me. Alice, you might be onto something. I wonder if the hawk did drop it first. Feline, the worst. Oh, it freezes for a few. I don't know. It's a lot of people in the neighborhood have been having problems with their Wi-Fi, with their phones, with the cable TV. So it's not just me. And every time people call Optimum, they're like, "Oh, well, you know, the whatever it is has to be updated." Okay, so do it. I'm back now, but mostly frozen. Should I change my Wi-Fi? Let's see. This is the good Wi-Fi usually. Am I still frozen, or am I going? Yes, if you can. I can flip it and see if it's any better. Any better? How about now? Unfrozen now? Okay. I was just in it before. That's why I look like a freak, because I was outside. I got a couple things for the pool that made it really, really enjoyable. I have a vacuum for it that I would vacuum with my arms. But on Amazon, they had a sale on the, what do you call them? They're like the self vacuum, the little thing that scoots around, that is made specifically for the put it up yourself pool. and it was like 53% off. So I got it. It is awesome. It's great. So I got that. And then I also got a separate skimmer piece so that I have to go around and skim it all the time. You got a new ice maker? Oh, thanks, Stormy. It's good to see you too. I was blurry before. That might be that might be better. That might be better. Okay, so I did a thing. I went to TJ Maxx. I did go there for something specific. I don't know what it was, and I don't think I got it because I got sidetracked by all of the Korean beauty products that they have. At good prices. So they must have just got a shipment or stock or something because they had a lot at good prices. Like, I know how much these things are. So for example, this brand, I'll get it right. It's called Innisfree. It's a pretty popular Korean brand, and they had it at TJ Maxx, which is really weird because they don't carry this stuff in stores. You can get it at Asian stores, online. They have online Asian stores, but it's not like you're going to walk into Sephora or Ulta and, to my knowledge anyway, and get this. I think the Korean beauty products kind of travel by word of mouth more so than like advertisements or commercials or something like American brands. And I find that the ingredients in Korean beauty products are better. They don't have as many bad things like American brands do. And in TJ Maxx, like this Innisfree hydrating cleansing foam with green tea was $8.99. Now, normally this is somewhere around $15, $16. And I know I like it because I've used it before. So I got it. And then they had, did I bring the other one? They had a different kind that I got on Innisfree. And then this brand, which is called Heimish. It's hard to see. It's a white clay foaming cleanser. I know, Crackles, you're right. I'm really enjoying them a lot. This one, I can't remember how this was in a box, so I'm not exactly sure how much this was. But I mean, these products are less expensive than American products, and I think they work better. So got that. And then they had a lot of like cleansers. And so this was also in a box. So it's called Bonnie Hill. And I just happened to see it. The reason I kind of knew it was Korean. I just disappeared. Am I still frozen? Generally, the propolis, I have not seen propolis really in American brands that much, but you see it, Korean products use it all the time. And this is Honeybee Propolis Cream for face and neck. And the tube is huge. And I know it wasn't even $10. So I'm still here, and they're sealed, so it's, you know, it's not a scam or anything. And then these are this is the packaging that I like, because it's so, like when I went to visit Laura, she took me to this Asian market, and so many things are packaged. And it's, I don't know what that says. I know strawberry, and it says strawberry milk cleansing foam, whipping bubble, vitalizing. And then on the back, this whipped cream foam cleanser helps clean your pores, and it does smell like strawberries and cream. So who doesn't love that? And it's just like my face feels clean, but not stripped. And I know it looks like something to eat. I unfroze. Good. And then this particular brand I've always liked, and I really didn't know that it was Korean until, I'm going to say, like within the last year or two, maybe, because I used to buy it all the time. It's by Belief. This is a cleanser too, but they make these water Aqua Bomb jelly cleanser, and that's a big thing, I guess, in Korean beauty, is these Aqua Bomb jelly things. This kind of smells a little medicinal, but when you wash it off and it goes away. But I just think the stuff is better than the American products. And let's see, what else did I get at? Here's another brand. Whoops, sorry. Everything fell. Not everything. But this brand called Laneige, I love. And they also had this in TJ Maxx. It was a set of 3 different types of water sleeping mask. There was the original one that I've purchased over and over again. There's a Sika one, and then there is a lavender one, and they're like really wet, and you put it on before bed, and the next morning your skin feels phenomenal. See, it's like, you can't really see because I have this stupid light, but to be able to find these for TJ Maxx prices is phenomenal, really phenomenal. And then they also had the water sleeping mask Laneige in the large size, and this was $20. And I know when I went into Flushing, I think this retails for between $30 and $35, I think. But these water masks, I really like them. And then what else did I find there? I found more K-Beauty. I have no idea how to say this, but I don't know if you can see it. It's a serum with that ingredient. I don't know anything else because everything is in Korean, but it's this, and then it's got Centella, which they say is good for sensitive skin. I haven't used this yet because I have other that I have to finish first. And then this brand which I don't even know what it is because everything is in Korean, but it's a intense facial serum. And of course, before I buy anything, I smell everything and I check out the texture, because if I don't like the way it smells, I'm never going to use it. And then another serum, and this serum I think was something like $5. It's by this Korean company. It's called Glam Fox, and it's niacinamide, 10% niacinamide hydro nourishing serum, and I think it was $4.99. Contains 5% rosehip oil, 10% niacinamide. So yeah, they have a lot. And the thing is, I don't think people either know what they are or they look at the price and think, well, this stuff can't be any good, and they don't buy it. It's only people really that are into this Korean beauty thing that knows what they are. There's another brand called Holika, and I've heard of this brand before, but I never bought anything. But they have black snail cream, and they also have black snail. Oh, here it is, black snail repair emulsion. So this is 3.38 fluid ounces, which is a lot. It's a lot. And this was, I think, like $12.99. And it retails for like $30 or something. And then this is cream. The cream was $7.99. I mean, it's like you can't beat the prices on this stuff. They had face wipes by the Cream Shop on clearance for $2 and $1. So yeah, that was my home run at TJ Maxx. You know, Crackles, the liquid glass, I am on the fence about, you know, the makeup gurus that put it on, because I think the big thing in Asia anyway is that wet looking skin. And now they're saying before you go to bed, unless you look like a glazed donut, you're not doing it right. Well, I don't sleep on my back all night. I sleep on my side. I sleep on my, you know, facing flat down and turn. All that stuff's going to get all over the pillow, right? So you want stuff that more kind of like absorbs. Oh, and also I got a whole bunch of face masks that they had Innisfree face masks. They had packs of 3, 5, and 10 that were on clearance for like $3, $2, $1. So I got those because I kind of like to throw them in as gifts and things. And then they had the Shiseido Bioperformance Super Revitalizing Cream. And I think this stuff is over $100 in the store. Yeah, the TJ Maxx. So some of my other TJ Maxx finds, you're going to laugh at these. I did, and then I bought them. Score. Yeah, I love that. When you go in, but that's how these stores are. If I left it there, it wouldn't be back the next time I went there. So you have to buy it when they have it. Oh, and I got this cute blanket with dogs on it for like $15. I think it's a throw. It's not like a bed blanket. So as I was traversing the aisles at TJ Maxx, the hair section is right near all the beauty stuff. I set another 2 butterflies free yesterday, and a few days before that, Look at these hair clips. They're butterflies. Isn't that cute? Fundy, how are you? Isn't this cute? These are the big ones. And then is a pink one. I mean, I was just like, they're too cute to not buy. I had to have them. And then they had other ones, different colors, but they're just cute. And then there's another one, another pack. I wore one, but these are just clear. They're kind of like tinted, different colors. These are the smallest ones. So yeah, it was fun in TJ Maxx. Like I said, I went there for something specific, and now I can't remember what the heck it was. I don't remember. I don't remember why I went there in the beginning. Swoop down and grab what? The butterfly? You missed the story that I told earlier about a woman, the like weirdest thing. A snake fell from the sky and landed on her arm, wrapped itself around her arm, so she was losing her shit over that. Then a hawk came to get the snake. The hawk tore her arm apart from the elbow. And I said, I don't know, the snake fell from a tree, but Alice said something very clever, that the hawk probably dropped it to begin with and went down to get it. And she's probably right. I didn't even think of that, but she's probably right. But man, another thing, like with the crazy otter attack, like, can you imagine? Those hawks have huge, huge talons. Hi, Jeannie's Beanies. Love the butterflies. I did too. Whether I'll wear them or not, I don't know. But one of these things, like, oh, I have to have it. And then they had, I went to Target last week, again, for something specific. I can't remember what it was. And they had a bathing suit that had embroidered butterflies on it, but they didn't have my size. So that sucked. I know, she's pretty clever, Crackles. She's pretty, because she watches all those crime shows. So, oh, I know, she watches all those true crime shows. Like she'll send me things about the Gilgo Beach, and she's so funny. She loves that stuff. Where is she? There she is. That's why you like those crime shows, Alice, because that's to put two and two together. Out of two? What do you mean, Crackles? What were they out of two? Here. Yeah, what she said about the snake is probably true. The hawk had it, dropped it, and went back to get it. It just happened to be wrapped around the woman's arm. If a snake ever fell from the sky and landed on my arm, I'd be done, over. I wouldn't be here anymore. I would have a heart attack and die. Fundy, the garden is doing great. Great. I have picked cucumbers, string beans, zucchini, and the yellow cherry tomatoes don't even make it in the house. I eat them in the garden. They're so good. So good. But the tomato plants are all loaded with tomatoes. Again, peppers. I don't have luck with peppers. And What else we have? Lettuce is good. The Swiss chard, actually the Swiss chard is coming back from the groundhog attack. And then I have Swiss chard planted in a whiskey barrel that's doing well. The herbs are good. Just trying to think. Oh, and just for shits and giggles, I threw some seeds in the raised bed that my father made. Watermelon, winter squash, and I think pumpkins. They are growing like mad. I put up some like 6-foot like sticks, poles. They're thicker than sticks, not quite as thick as poles. They're climbing all over, and they all have fruits on them. The squash has little squash. The watermelons are starting, and then the pumpkins are starting. But everything I have, I think I counted and I stopped at 30. I have 30 cucumbers about this big. They're all going to grow and all come in at the same time. But there are 2 out there that I probably should pick tonight or tomorrow. And there's a few more string beans. So it's been doing well. So in one of my zucchini plants, I got a vine borer too, crackles. So that one's, but it's fine because everybody gets all this stuff in at once, and everybody's trying to give it away to the neighbors, and they get to the point where it's like, I can't take anymore. So it's okay if I don't have 200 zucchini. It's okay. Oh, I like home goods too. You know, Jeannie, it's some people's gardens are doing really, really well, and other people's gardens are people that have had very successful gardens in the past. This year has been terrible. It was the weather in May, and in the beginning of June, it was not warm, and we got a ton of rain and then no rain. I had planted celosia in the front. They all died because it was too cold. Stick the butterflies up for decor. Right. But feline, like, what do you do? What do you do with trying to everybody says, well, make zucchini bread. Okay, that's great. So after zucchini bread, my mother used to make zucchini really good. She used to slice it. She used garlic, onion, and then she took tomato sauce and cooked it up a little bit. And then she put the zucchini and mixed it all up. And it was really, really good that way. But like, how much this stuff can you eat? First of all, I would have diarrhea for days if I ate all those seeds and all the vegetables. So feline, my mother used to make, is it garlic dills? Whatever she used to make. I remember she used to have these big mayonnaise jars that she would save. And my father grew dill and he had everything. So she would put everything in there. And I just remember the jars would be lined up with the dates written on them. And oh man, they were the best pickles ever. And a friend of mine told me to make bread and butter pickles. I don't know how. You've got to know the county. Oh, Stormy, we have a ton of hawks here too. For a long time, we didn't have any hawks or osprey because they used to go around spraying for mosquitoes and it killed off all the eggs. But now the population has returned. There are hawks everywhere. I saw something recently, I think in the gardening group, and there were two hawks sitting on this person's outdoor table and on the back of one of the chairs on their porch or their deck. That's a little too close for comfort for me. Yeah, that's a little too close. Oh, a bat. My friend Debbie has a bat. She'll go in the pool and the bat will swoop down at night. Pickled eggplant. Huh. Your peppers. I don't know what my deal. One year, actually a few years, I did well with jalapenos. One year I had so many habanero peppers that I ended up throwing them away. They were so hot. And I really only know one person that loves that hot stuff. And even he was like, enough. I can only use a little bit. And they're not that big. They're tiny. They're little yellow things. So I had a ton of them. And then I had a ton of jalapenos one year. And I think the Thai hot peppers too. But I have never done well with bell peppers. I don't know. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Hi, Dee Dee. Oh, really? I have to tell her that it's good luck. I always tell her that I hope it doesn't land on her head. And like mine, I look like a bat made a nest in my hair today. I ate all my peas. I thought I was planting regular peas, but they came out as the sugar snap peas, which is fine with me. And I would stand out by the garden with Debbie, and we would eat all of them outside. They were good. If you water a lot, well, if I had any fruits to water, I would water them, but I just don't. The peppers, they just never do well. Bats eat mosquitoes. Oh, speaking of eating bugs, yesterday I walked around the pool and I saw what I thought was a bold-faced hornet. So I was like, oh shit, really? It wasn't. It was a mud dauber, and it was walking up the pole carrying a cabbage worm. And when there was a little mud, it's really kind of cool. You know those chimenea firewood burning things that you have in the backyard? That's exactly what this mud nest looks like. It's got like an opening. It's really cool. It's not that big, but the wasp got to the nest and devoured this cabbage worm. I didn't have my phone on me, or else I would have videoed it. But I was like, holy shit. That thing just gobbled that cabbage worm up. And then he went inside and I guess took a nap or whatever. So, oh, I love bread and butter pickles too. Get a BB gun. They don't bother me. I don't think that they would bother me with the 3 dogs, although the groundhog, but that, you talk seriously, like that groundhog had a lot of nerve, like brass balls, to come into a yard where there were 3 dogs and a 4th, because Rocco comes and pees all over everything. So, I guess it was worth the risk. What else? Oh, there's something else that I found in TJ Maxx, which I like Philosophy body washes and stuff, because I'm all about like smell. I always have been. Rain possible. Okay. And I've used the Philosophy stuff for a long time. And one of the flavors or scents or whatever they came out with was Coconut Splash, which I fell in love with. So I bought a bunch of body wash. And then when I went to TJ Maxx, they had this. It smells so good. Oh, it just smells so good. So I was happy to find one of these. And they also had Crabtree and Evelyn lotion, sweet almond oil, which I used to get in the city at the Crabtree and Evelyn store. And this also smells good. Yeah, I'm just like a sucker for things that smell good. But what I don't like to smell like a fruit salad when I get out of the shower. I don't like, or like sugar cookies or cappuccino, whatever. Yeah. Oh, the groundhog. But well, I think the groundhog here just fled after he got attacked by the two dogs. Stuff. Zucchini boats, right, Jeannie? Yeah, they're like, they say zucchini boats. And then, oh, this morning when I went out and I checked out the the watermelon and the squash vines, there were the big squash flowers. And I've heard so many people talk about stuffing them and then deep frying them, but I didn't pick them off because I'm not exactly sure how to do it yet. So I have, now that I know they're huge, those squash flowers, I'm going to look up to see how to make them, and you can batter them and then fry them. And they say they're really good. So I'll try it. BB gun. What else? I think that's all I have to show. Oh no, I got something else at TJ Maxx. I have seen these things. They were, I don't know if it was Facebook or TikTok or whatever in the feeds. The nail stickers that you put on, and then I guess you push or you cut the end and then you file, and they stay on your nails like you had a manicure on a polish. Well, they had these, they're called Dashing Diva, and these are for Halloween. One has little cats and the other one has ghosts and moons. And so, and they have like a regular pink color. So I thought that was kind of cool to try. And then they had these metallic ones, and I put a metallic one on yesterday, but I don't think I did it right. I think I just peeled the sticky part off and put it on. I think there's a top piece that after you push it on, that comes off too. Because of course I didn't read the directions. I just put the sticker on my fingernail and said, "Ooh, that's cool." So yeah, all my little TJ Maxx things. But I mean, these little hair clips are just too much. because aside from, I wear my hair up 99.75% of the time. And so I'll just French twist it and put one of those in, and it'll be cute. And that's all I have to show. But I do have other things written down. A cucumber tip that I found out this week. To store cucumbers, wrap them in a dry paper towel, put them in a Ziploc bag, get the air out, close the Ziploc bag, and store them in the refrigerator. And they say they last for at least 2 weeks. Most of the time longer than that. So I'm going to try it since I will be having a lot of cucumbers come in. Crackles, I know, but I think a lot of them you need a UV light for. And I don't have a UV light. I have a lump under here. Swollen gland, maybe? I'm sorry, Stormy. These dogs are shot. I had them out today, and they were barking and barking and barking. And yeah, they're all Piper's on her back with her legs spread open. I saw the first hummingbird yesterday standing at my kitchen window, and I love seeing them because from the kitchen window I can watch them, and they just always amaze me how fast their wings flap and how precise they are with their little needle beak. Hi, Lucille. So girly. Yes, we're girly. I went clamming last weekend. It wasn't a real clamming thing. It was just went to the beach, and I said, I'll bring the clam rake. We'll go to the bay and bring the paddle board. And so it was my friend, and we took the paddle board and paddled over, and we did get 6 huge chowder clams and 1 scallop. But it wasn't a serious clamming thing. It was just kind of like to go out and enjoy the day and enjoy the water. And so, but a couple days later, I started getting these bumps that looked like mosquito bites, and they itched like hell. And I had this before about 5 years ago. I've been swimming in these waters since I was a kid. The only thing that we ever had to worry about was getting stung by a jellyfish. It's called swimmer's itch, and it comes from a parasite. I don't know if any of you have seen those little black snails that are in salt water. Well, the parasite comes from those snails. Birds, generally seagulls, eat those, ingest the parasite, and then poop out the parasite into the water. And I read about it. I can't remember if they say the parasite gets under the skin, but it can't live there, so it dies. But it has something that causes a reaction. And I had these things from the top of my shoulders, that they were really bad on my back, all over my arms, my legs, and they were so itchy. At first I thought it was mosquito bites, and then I went, no, these are not mosquito bites. Up until it happened the first time, I had no idea what this shit was. I never had swimmer's itch as a kid. Like, where is this stuff coming from? We never had to worry about this stuff. And yeah, so I was itchy for like a week, and then it goes away, and that's it. But yeah. Oh, Stormy, good. What? Frogging orphaned whips? Frogging orphaned whips. I'm not going to look it up. Frogging orphaned frogging. Frogging. Jumping? Frogging. Not flogging. You didn't. That was my first hummingbird that I saw this year, Crackles. I just like the right. I'm sure they've been around. It's just that I haven't been in the right place at the right time to see them, but I did see. And um, after I released the first swallowtail, and right before I was going to release the second one, or after I released the second one, another one came flying by, and it was checking out the herbs. So I wonder if I'll find eggs on the dill or the parsley. I would like to have a third round of these things, but I don't know if I will. I think I did have a lot for this year, which I'm really happy about. It's so incredible to watch that transformation. Frogging orphan whips. Oh, so you had an allergic reaction to swimmer's itch? Ew. Well, Jeannie, when I had it 5 years ago, I'm going to say it was 5 years ago. It may have been a little longer than that. They were more like blisters. So I don't know if there's like different kinds. I don't know, but they were like blisters, and they opened up because I was scratching them so much, and they were wet. But these were like mosquito bites. But they were everywhere. I was like, what the hell is this? Is it a game? Knitting? Oh, where'd you go? A ball of yarn, knitting. I don't know if she has hummingbirds, Crackles, but she does have 2 frogs. Ask her about Mr. Poopers. She'll know who Mr. Poopers is. What'd you have on your dill? The eggs? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I know. Frogging, rip it, orphaned, works in progress. Okay. Gotcha. Now I know what you're talking about. Frogging, orphaned, whips. Yep. I have a few of those. And before I pull it out, I'm always like, am I going to go back to this? And the answer is always no. You think in your mind like, oh, I'll pick this up. The only thing I did that with was the queen size blanket that I made because I wanted to finish that. But unless I finish what I'm doing, if I put it to the side, chances are it's not going to get finished. Stormy, when I lived in Florida, there used to be warnings about sea lice. And actually, a friend of mine got it really bad. We were out on a boat, and she jumped in, And she came out like, ah! She got on the boat and she took her whole bathing suit on because they got like in the bathing suit. So she whipped the bathing suit off. And that evening, where the bathing suit was the only spot that she wasn't all red and irritated. It was like a skin bikini with just a rash everywhere. Crackles, it's a knitting thing. Oh, Jeannie, do I knit? Yes, I do. I taught myself how to knit on YouTube, and I submitted a lot of things that I made into the country fair and won a lot of blue ribbons, first place, second place, third place. And I almost won best in show with my fall harvest hat, but a pretty fancy embroidered piece got best in show, and it definitely deserved it. But the judges said that they were torn between the two of them. But oh, a trunk full of whips and full skeins. Ah. Mom is good, Carolyn. They called me a couple of weeks ago because she was having a meltdown over I don't know what. And they thought that if they called me, it would help calm her down. I don't know if it did. She was just, it's just sad. It's sad. What are you holding out? I told Crackles to ask you about Mr. Poopers. Yep. Because Crackles said that you probably have seen hummingbirds. And I said, I don't know about hummingbirds, but I know she's got a couple frogs that are hanging out. Stormy, I have a hummingbird feeder, and it was attracting tons of yellow jackets. So I kind of didn't do that anymore. Since their hummingbirds like the color red, I planted like reddish, purplish, like raspberry colored zinnias, and I think that might be why the hummingbird came around. And I also have those passion flowers, so I don't know if that attracted it, but the butterfly bushes in the front are getting big, and they have the flowers now. I've seen a few monarch butterflies, and I planted milkweed seeds, but it's not very big. It's perennial, so it'll come back next year. So we'll see. We'll see what I have. My lilies this year they were also weird. They're still blooming. It's August 6th, and they're still blooming. It's just very strange. Mr. Poopers and his partner. You said you think they're still around someplace, though. Oh, Carolyn. It's there's no worse. Sea lice. Yeah, sea lice are the larvae from jellyfish, and they all sting. And it's like there's millions of them when they're out. And I'll just never forget my friend jumping in, and she came out, she was like, ah! And yeah. So yeah, you think in the water you have to worry about sharks and whales and swimmer's itch. It's like, to me, whenever I say that or I think about it, all I can think of is jock itch. Swimmer's itch. They couldn't come up with a better name. Swimmer's itch. It just sounds so gross. They couldn't say, like, I don't know, carmine bumps or carmine lesions or something like that. Swimmer's itch. Yeah. Swimmer's itch. I'm going to use my vibrator. Who knew that this was going to be such a journey with the hand? Talk to the hand. I don't think the oil makes a difference. I mean, I don't know. Crackles, I knew you'd catch right on. This is the vibrator thing that the hand therapist advised or suggested I get to try to break up some of the scar tissue. It's a vibrator. I had looked at, they have one that looks like a gun and it's got this round thing on the end of it. And I asked the hand therapist and she said, you kind of have to be careful because some of those things are really powerful. She said, you don't want to re-break the bone in your hand. Not that that would happen, but she said, you don't need it that aggressive. So the flowers are fine. Alice, it really is. It really is for my hand. I can just grab onto it and let it vibrate. You can have one too. It wasn't expensive. I got it on Amazon. And it's just strange where it hurts. It hurts right in here. And like right, and that's where those two pins were. And it, you can't see it on the camera, but there's a line that goes right up here, and you can see it's that it pulls when I try to extend it. So we'll see what happens. Crackles has the turbo kind. Of all the things I've spoken about, Alice Crackles chooses to zone in on the vibrator. Look at this. That's my good hand. I can't do that with my other hand. So today I cleaned all the moss out from between the brick pavers. I got something called muriatic acid, which in the toilet, I was getting the hard water stains. Don't you do it, Piper. And I tried everything to get those stains out. I tried straight Clorox, the higher percentage apple cider vinegar, like 45%, which is really acidic. And I ended up using a pumice stone. Nothing really worked. And I looked online and a lot of people said they recommended muriatic acid. And I looked on Amazon and they had it, so I bought it. I didn't hold out a whole lot of hope for it. That stuff is the best. I put it in a spray. I ordered a gallon of it. I put it in a spray bottle and I sprayed the toilet, and then I sprayed under the rim. On contact, it broke all the stuff up. And I took out the toilet brush. 1, 2, 3. It was gone. And so I poured some in the tank, and now the whole tank looks like a brand new toilet. All that brown staining. What's the matter, Piper? What's the matter? What's the matter, Piper? What? Come over here. Piper, come on over. Aw, she's lonely. God forbid I do anything other than show her undivided attention. Yeah, when she's looking to steal things, steal my visual aids. The massager gun, I looked on Amazon, and then when I went to TJ Maxx, they had one, and I did one of these things like put it in the wagon, take it out of the wagon, put it in the wagon, take it out of the wagon, take the box, read the box. Is this going to be okay? Am I going to use it? Blah, 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 blah. And I put it down and I left it there because the hand therapist said they can be really, really strong. So, I got this one instead. You love it between your shoulder blades. I'll make a video and I'll show the lilies. The ones that are blooming now, they're all white. I can't remember the name of them. But the big, the butter colored ones, they did bloom. They bloomed really early. And they're so funny because the flowers are about the size of my head. And they bloomed early. Then, like, the pink ones came in, or they bloomed, and the black lilies, and then the pink ones, and then the white ones now. And normally they all come in more or less at the same time. And also my hydrangea bushes, no flowers, none. The bushes look great. No flowers. And other people have commented in the gardening group and that they don't have any flowers either. And they're saying it's because of that cold that we had in May and in June, and it stunted their growth. And then there are other people's whose hydrangeas look beautiful. So there's no rhyme or reason to why some of this stuff happens. I got the to-go one. The to-go one. The zinnias look good, and the sunflowers are coming up. I planted I got them a couple of new toys at TJ Maxx. So Piper, of course, Piper has it, and she's taunting the other two. She likes the squeaky toys, and the other two, without Piper, their interest in toys, especially Holly, I mean, she couldn't care less. And Zoya likes bones, but Piper likes bones and toys, and she loves toys that squeak. So at TJ Maxx, they had a set of 3 rubber pumpkins that squeak, and I gave her one. And Alice, I think I sent you the video of this. She was going around wah, 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 with the squeaking the pumpkin. So then, because they're rubber, I gave one to her outside, and the neighbors were cracking up because she was running around the backyard with the pumpkin. And then they had these other things. There's a snake that has 3 squeakers in it. So she loves that. And TJ Maxx has a lot of stuff, a lot of toys for dogs, and some good treats and bones and stuff. So that may have been what I think. Maybe that's why I went there, to see what kind of toys and treats and bones that they had. I got them also the antlers. Those damn things are expensive. Damn. I mean, they're not as expensive there, but they are expensive. I have to color my hair. I look like a streetwalker with my roots. Stormy. That must have been fun, though, to go down the West Coast on that. I think I've seen videos of people on that train that goes down the West Coast. That would be fun. Oh, the Rose of Sharons. We used to have Rose of Sharons when I was a kid. And my mother used to make me pick the flowers up all the time. And they used to get slimy. And it's like, yeah, great. You have the Rose of Sharon bushes, but I'm the one picking up all these slimy flowers. Yeah. So they're gone. And they were replaced with forsythias, which are equally as, I can't stand them. Yeah, but the hydrangea in the front usually has really big flowers. It doesn't have a single flower, and I didn't see any buds either. At least the one in the back. It did start to put out some flowers, and there are buds, but the one in the front, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what else? Let me look at my list. Oh, on my Facebook feed, something came up that I didn't know what it was. And it was, the name of it is Nobody Starves on Long Island. And I didn't know what it was. So I clicked on it, and a man started this program, I guess you can call it, to help people with their pets with food if they can't afford to buy the food, if they're going through some hard times. And it was, put out there as kind of like, if you can donate, please donate. And it's only, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes from the house. So I decided to just take a ride and check it out. And this guy, he lives in a cul-de-sac, really, really nice house. And he has, I think, 4 sheds filled with dog food, cat food. And all you have to do is call him up or text him or whatever and ask if you can come over and get some food for your dog or cat. He never turns anybody away. And when I went there, somebody had dropped off a ton of cat food, cases and cases and cases of canned cat food and bags of cat food. And he says that he accepts money and he accepts donations of food. And the 4 sheds, I mean, they're big sheds. They were packed full of dog and cat food. And I just thought, I mean, this is like a one-man operation. I think maybe he has somebody that helps him, maybe his wife or something. But I thought, like, what a great thing that he just took the initiative, because he loves animals and he hates the thought that people would have to either bring the dogs to give up their pets because they couldn't afford to feed them. And it's not like you have to fill out financial. I'm going to let the dogs out. I'll be right back. Oh, Piper. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Now I don't have to watch her trying to steal things from everywhere. So getting back to that, he doesn't get paid. He doesn't, it's not like, I guess maybe it's a charity of some sort, but he doesn't take a salary or take any of the money. Everything goes back into just getting food. And he showed me in the sheds, this guy doesn't have like Gravy Train or Alpo. He has Blue Buffalo in there. I mean, really good food. And just like a regular person who, he said, people shouldn't have to give up their pets if they are, in a bad situation or they're having hard times. And I just thought, like, what an amazing thing to do. Really. It's not, I think, maybe trying to get more exposure, but I don't think he wants too much exposure. He just wants to help the people out that know about it. So, yeah, there was a little box that was up on the door that said donations. There was a sign that says, you're on video camera. So, like, don't try to take the box off the door or take the money. And see, I don't mind giving to something like that. I know where the money's going. He's not going on vacation with it. He's obviously putting it back into helping people. And I just think, like, what a great thing. Yeah. Well, anybody can donate. You can donate. I don't know if it's like PayPal or Cash App or putting cash in there, or to donate food. But he said he accepts both, and everything goes back into helping the pets, helping the animals. Yeah. Well, with natural disasters, like with floods and hurricanes and stuff, you see all the animals, they do the rescues for the animals. And yeah. Well, for me, I mean, these girls are my daughters. So if there was ever a fire or something happened, they come with me. They don't get left. They come with me. So, yeah, fire scares me. Yeah. Oh, God. They're barking at something again. So, so anyway, I think I told you about the muriatic acid. So what I did, there was some moss that grows in between the brick pavers in the area that doesn't get a whole lot of sun. And in the past, I had tried Clorox. It was okay. And then there's the area where the raised garden bed is in the back. That's all brick also. And most of the time I ended up with an ice pick manually pulling all of the moss from in between. Muriatic acid, I put in a spray bottle and I sprayed the moss. And all I had to do was take the hose, and the moss came right out. And it also cleaned the brick. So I ordered another gallon. Yeah, I know. It's just a nice thing to do for him. He doesn't have to do it, but it's nice that he does. They're my girls, Crackles. For better, for worse. You hear them making noise out there. Holly's not out. She's the noisiest one of all of them. Wow. Well, we had the West Hampton fires. I think they were like 25 years ago, but they were really bad. I lived in the city at the time, and I just remember hearing about it in the city. And then when I came out here, nobody could believe like how burnt up and charred everything was. But since then, everything has grown back. But it was a big fire, big forest fire. No, Dee Dee, it's like $20 for a gallon. And I probably used more than I needed to. But I also cleaned the PVC fat railing on the front steps. I sprayed it on, and I used a soft cloth, and everything came off. And I just sprayed it down with a hose. I did wear gloves, and it does have a strong odor. So don't be working over it and inhale. Like I would spray, and then turn my head to breathe the air from behind me. But it works great. In the bathtub is the original bathtub from the house. And around the drain, as long as I can remember, there was a stain, I guess, from the dripping water, and it was kind of like greenish, bluish. And no matter, my mother could not get rid of it, and she was the queen of, stain removal. No matter what I used, I could not get rid of it. The muriatic acid got rid of it. I sprayed it right on there, and you could see, like, within seconds, it lifting, and it got the stain off. That was there for so long. Stat, hi. Stormy, I don't think many people even know about it, and maybe he only takes food for, I really don't know, but that's a good point. That is a good point. So, but it's just, that would really be shitty for somebody to put some poisoned food to donate. That would really be shitty of somebody to do. But you know what? Some wacko out there probably would. So, but it's just kind of like pay me back when you can type of thing. I just think that's so cool. And doesn't ask for anything in return. That's cool. So what else? Say something. Bring up a topic. I went through all my topics, all my show and tell. What else? Garden. We haven't had rain for a while, so we're getting back on another another dry out. It's kind of funny that I can't remember if the town did it or if the county did it, but from the very beginning of the summer, they want us to water on odd even days to conserve water, which we pay for. They had an article about the Hamptons people who the highest water consumption residents in the Hamptons are. And you know what? I'll fucking water every day of the week, and I would never even come close to what some of these Hamptons estates are using. And you know what? They don't care. They don't care. They'll water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if they have to. They don't care. And nobody's at their door saying you're watering on the wrong day. Have I seen anything interesting on Gossip Bakery? I mean, just some Glenda stuff about how ridiculous the whole thing is. And one thing that I did see, and I have to think about how I saw it. A video of Glenda's from last year, I think, or the screenshot, something like that, from about a year ago, and then a recent one. She said she went to go have her pre-op testing done. If she's not being cleared by a cardiologist, that's a problem. Or if she's hiding how short of birth her exercise tolerance, because honestly, she's gained a lot of weight. And I mean, whatever. I mean, I gained weight with the whole thing going on with my mother, and then the winter, and I was not going to buy new clothes. I was not going to buy a whole new wardrobe. So I'm about 5 pounds more than what I usually weighed. But if you can't walk 5 steps without becoming short of breath, your anesthetic risk shoots up a lot. And she really needs a cardiology clearance to have anesthesia, have general anesthesia for what she's saying she's having, which is a joint replacement. Now, there have been a lot of things that I've seen, whether it's comments from Laura's videos. I read the comments because some of them are pure gold. But now they're scratching the comment. I'll be right back, or else she'll scratch through the door. Is there something out there you don't like? Don't you steal anything over there. I know what you're up to. So I think, well, Alice, I believe that a lot of the problem with the arm is a lack of muscle strength and muscle tone. And I had seen a few comments, like one of the comments said, she had said something about Jill calling a rehab place, first of all, which is honestly bullshit, because you can't call a rehab place and make a reservation like you can at the Hilton. It's dependent on who has a bed at the time that you're getting discharged, and that's how it gets determined. And somebody asked, like, why isn't she going to rehab after the surgery? And if she is getting a full joint replacement, here she has the pumpkin, she doesn't need to go to a rehab place because her arm is going to be immobilized. So there is no rehab to do. I mean, her legs are fine. Her other arm is fine. There is nothing for her to go to rehab for. In fact, there's really no reason for her to even go to Jill's house. She'll just have one arm and two legs, just like I had. So, but the severe shortness of breath after only taking a few steps is very, very concerning. And as the person that's going to be giving her anesthesia, if she has not been honest about her exercise tolerance, that's not, you really do have to tell them the truth and tell them everything. The whole thing with the tramadol is kind of funny because tramadol is a very, very, very weak opioid. However, the chemical structure of tramadol, I know years ago they used to say that it's actually more like cocaine than an opioid. And tramadol is also used for refractory depression. So it's not just like a straight opioid like Vicodin or Percocet. It's a bit of a different one. They say the strength is about on par with codeine, which is like nothing. But it is highly, highly addictive. So it's kind of hard for me to believe that someone who claims to have been addicted to opioids in the past would want anything to do with a medication like tramadol, which is highly addictive. And let me see, she struggles to breathe. Yeah. In somebody her age, Piper, she's trying to get my attention. And she knows it's, about time for their bedtime treats. For a full shoulder replacement. My mother had a shoulder replacement, but she fell and she shattered her entire shoulder joint. And her recovery she was in the hospital for a week. And then she went to a rehab facility. Oh my God. Piper, can you please stop? You're driving me crazy. So, like I could believe that she would be having maybe laparoscopic surgery to clean up the labrum, but to do a shoulder replacement on somebody that is really sedentary seems like overkill. And I use this kind of like shooting an ant with a shotgun. She's moving it. So she can't, I guess, lift it but what's she lifting anyway? Oh, I know. Piper's, she's just, I don't know where Piper's like almost a different breed than these other two. She's always into trouble. Stop. Yeah, and she knows what to do to get my attention. I mean, I remember after surgery, my mother was on Dilaudid every 4 hours, and she has no tolerance for stuff like that. They'd give her the Dilaudid, and like 15 or 20 minutes later, she's. But what freaked me out is that she would get like doll's eyes where they'd roll back in her head, and that like freaked me out. But she was in so much pain. So for nothing else except pain control, I would think that the coin can always works. Oh, hi, Sandra. Like I said, I really don't know why she can't go back to her apartment. She's going to be immobilized. It's not like she's going to have to take a shower every day, or I don't understand. Like, oh, talking about cooking. Fill the freezer up with frozen meals, or just eat whatever. Eat whatever you can. Why is it like she has a definite fixation with food? It's like the whole buying a dozen donuts for 2 kids and herself. I was just like, I haven't had a Dunkin' Donut in, I mean, not that I don't like them, I like them, but I haven't had it in so long. But the anesthetic risk with somebody that has no exercise tolerance, they would tell you, get a cardiology clinic. I mean, the cardiologist may not clear her for general anesthesia if she saw one without a stress test or something like that. So, So, like with this, she gave me a prescription for Vicodin. I took it the night I had the surgery, like during the night, because the local wore off. And then the next night I took it before bed just as a precautionary measure, but it didn't really hurt that bad. And that's all I took. Like it didn't really hurt. It hurts more now than it did then. And like when you're immobilized, you shouldn't have that much pain. Like when this was I didn't have pain because it was immobilized. It's when you start moving it that the pain is severe. So I am not fully convinced that this is going to be a complete joint replacement. I can like I said, an arthroscopy, I could see, but a joint replacement it's a big surgery. A shoulder replacement is a big surgery, and some people do not do well. Shoulder surgery is a 50-50 type of thing, especially rotator cuff surgery. I've seen people do great from rotator cuff surgery, and I have seen people do really bad after rotator cuff surgery. So I don't know. But, you know, we'll see. But like I said, with the tramadol, I find it hard to believe that somebody that was addicted to opioids, as she said she was, would ever even take it or want it from the doctor. And the length of time that she's going to be on it, or that she has been on it, I don't know. But tramadol is just it's a weird medication. It's weird. The chemical structure and how it works. And it's a weird, like I said, they use it for refractory depression. And it's a weird medication. And I mean, a lot of people that have taken tramadol didn't really do anything. I think my mother, the doctor gave it to my mother for her when she had the really bad spinal stenosis pain, and it didn't really do anything for her. So yeah, Crackles, she would be better off in her own home. Like she was saying, no, Jill's buying her a recliner because the recliner she had wasn't made to sleep in. I don't think any recliner is made to sleep in. And when my mother came back, I bought her one of those foam wedges and like propped them up and propped her shoulder up and with pillows, and she slept okay. So you don't need a brand new recliner. Piper's all upset. Are you upset? Huh? Come here. Come on up. You upset? Why don't you say hi to everybody? Come on. Come on. Come on. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Very interesting. And it just kind of boggles my mind a little bit that the whole concept of gaining so much weight, it doesn't ring true for her, because I'm quite sure that she's been told that she should lose some, but not only does she not lose some, she keeps gaining. And Sandra, shoulder surgery is rough. And even athletes that have shoulder surgery, they'll tell you that it is no picnic. And the physical therapy, my mother had physical therapy. A physical therapist and an occupational therapist came to the house 5 days a week between the two of them for Piper has something. I don't know what it is. Let me just go see what she has. Oh, okay. She has a bone. Yay! So my mother had them coming to the house. I'm trying to think. She had the surgery in February. And she was immobilized until around Easter. And then they came to the house. That was April. I want to say that they came until about Labor Day. And then I had to bring her to the physical therapy place that had all the machines. And she did that. I know she did it through some time in the winter because I remember helping her put her coat on. So February, so say like February, it's about a year recovery time. And my mother did not get full use out of her arm again. She couldn't lift it all the way up, but I mean, they had no choice. Her arm, it was shattered. I am not sure that I would have an elective shoulder replacement unless I couldn't use my arm, because it's a big surgery and it hurts like a motherfucker afterward. Dee Dee, I know. I know, Dee Dee, I know. Stat, what do you use medical marijuana for? Bud tender. It was a good thing I wasn't in a bar. I don't know if I could sleep in the recliner because I'm not a back sleeper. I've been trying. Here she goes with the squeaky snake. See? Let me show. There's 3 squeakers. Three squeakers in the snake. Go. Take it. And she'll be squeak, 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 squeak. She loves the squeakers. She loves them. And she pulls out the stuffing from all the stuffed toys. That's why I didn't get the stuffy ones. I got with the squeakers. Now she's going to go all around squeaking her snake. Pain, depression, and sleep. You love it? Well, it definitely helps with sleep. Now, how do you dose yourself? Do you microdose, or do you? I'm doing a lot of like research about marijuana and its health benefits. Alice knows all this stuff. I've spoken to Alice about this a lot. And it seems like every week there's a lot to it. I didn't know. I thought it was just in college. You got some, you stuffed it in a bong, and I didn't know there was like a whole science behind this stuff, and there is. You overdose yourself. Oh, he has the same toy. Her thing is that she wants attention. She wants me to play with her. She wants me to watch her. And the breeder said it's because I got her as a puppy and she looks to me as the alpha, and that the breeder also thinks that I am not the alpha dog in the house. Gee, what would make her think that? Now, the whole dabbing thing, that's totally new for me too. I've spoken to people about it, like, what is this? It's like a wax that you do. I'm like, what? This is way too complicated. Smoke, I know. The thing about like smoking it smells so much. When I went to the city, it's like everywhere you go, it smells like a giant pot place, and the whole city reeks like pot. But vaping, it doesn't smell. But the dabbing thing, I still don't get it. I still don't get the dabbing thing. but there's just so much about terpenes and the percentage of this and how this is extracted. It is very scientific. So I would love to get a job as like a marijuana nurse and work in a dispensary to learn about it, because what changed my mind about marijuana for health reasons, I think I've told you this before, is that a friend of mine, her mother was diagnosed with leukemia, and the treatments made her super, super nauseous and vomiting all over the place. And nothing that they prescribed for her helped. The Zofran didn't help. And the, oh shit, what do they call it? The marijuana, that's Marinol. And the Marinol didn't help. So her brother lives in Utah. So he scooted over to Colorado and he sent back some gummies for her. And she was sitting out by the pool. And I mean, I expected her to be sacked out. She wasn't stoned. She wasn't. And I was asking her about it, and she said, it is the best thing. It's better than anything that I have ever been prescribed for nausea and vomiting. And she looked great. She wasn't stoned, nothing. And that's when I first started thinking like, hey, there's more to this than just a bunch of hippies sitting around in a circle getting stoned. And then someone else I know who adopted a son from China that had been, they suspect, either dropped on his head or shaken or both. He developed seizures that were nearly constant. And he was maxed out on all of his seizure medication to the point where it was actually toxic. And he was seen at the epilepsy center at NYU, and they were doing a trial with CBD. And his mother, my friend, is a nurse, so she was, he's a kid. I think he was 14. And she's like, oh my God, I don't want to be giving pot to my kid. But nothing else helped him. So finally she said, fine, let's try this. I don't know how I don't think he smoked it. I mean, probably a tincture or something. But the first time he took it, it almost eradicated all the seizures. He went from having dozens and dozens of seizures a day to like one or two. And I'm not talking grand mal seizures. He had like focal seizures, and she couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe it. So I was like, huh. And then reading more about it, it was the pharmaceutical companies that never wanted research studies done because, first of all, you can grow it yourself. And can you imagine, like with Zofran now, who needs Zofran? If you can go get CBD or go get marijuana to relieve nausea and vomiting. And they're using it for all different types of things, sleeping and anxiety and depression. And they're using it for a lot of things. And now they're using ketamine too, which is pretty wild. There have actually been several jobs for nurse anesthetists to work in or alongside psychiatrists administering ketamine therapy for patients, which is pretty interesting. because they're using like hallucinogens to treat mental health things now. So, oh boy. Piper, you gonna come up here? Don't steal that. She pushes everything on the floor. Oh my God. Here, look. Foxy. Foxy. No, she wants me. That's the problem. And she keeps pushing all my stuff on the floor. Heating up a concentrate. Oh. But it's like wax, isn't it? So you light it up and it smokes and you inhale the smoke? Please explain this a little bit more. See, I don't want to say who turned me on to a YouTuber that grows their own and has a pretty big growing operation going. And I watched the videos and it's like mind-boggling to me because she's talking about, you know, hybridizing this and this strain. I'm like, whoa, this is a lot deeper than my knowledge base, but it's really, I think it's going to be a big medical, not breakthrough maybe, but they're going to find a lot more uses for it than just hippies sitting around in a circle getting stoned. A rig that's like, now I've heard them call rigs too, but isn't rigs like for heroin? Oh my God, a nail? I live for information. I heat it up with a blowtorch and drop the dab in. Oh my God, Piper's, she's trying to be cute now. She's like sitting up and giving me her paw. See, she abandoned the pain in the ass technique because it wasn't getting her anywhere. The bags you suck in. What? Bags you suck in? Heat it up with a blowtorch. That sounds very complicated, Stat. Obama's chef mysteriously died. Piper, honestly. Obama's chef. I didn't know that his chef died. You suspect other things are cooked. You need to leave this stuff alone. Do they have granny weed? Well, I think different strains have different potency. You're too scared to try. Why? Because you'll be like stoned out of your mind all day long. Yeah, Alice knows a lot about a lot. A carb cap at the top of the, that's very, Stat, that's very complicated, isn't it? I am not kidding you guys. I have a big lump here. You see that? It's a parotid gland. Maybe I have, good Lord. Yeah, it's a parotid gland. She brought me her snake. So the little machine with the bag that you suck it in, I have no idea what you're talking about. Dabbing makes you cough too much. So it's a lot of smoke. God, look how, maybe I am dying with the lump and how bad my eyes look. Oh my God. Piper. Yep. Alice, you hit the nail right on the head. Hi, Robin. Oh, Beth. Broken ribs. I was in a car accident a long time ago, like early 2000s. And I broke 3 ribs. It was so painful because every move you make affects that. Breathing, speaking, peeing, poop, everything. And it was like constant, and it lasted for a long time too. It's not like it was 3 days, it was several weeks. Did not feel good. What about gummies? Oh, he drowned? Huh. Mysteriously drowned. Where? Where did he drown? That's right. There's no money in a cure. Yep. You're right. No, I don't have a cast on anymore. I'm in hand therapy because it's still all screwed up. I can't straighten my hand. There's a lot of scar tissue built up, and the extensor tendon can't glide over the bone because of all the scar tissue. So I can bend it and like go down a little bit, but I can't push it back. So that's what we're working on. Just asking about gummies. No, Alice, I think this is a parotid gland, but it's big. It's really big. Fuck. You know, it really pisses me off how physicians, and I say physicians, but I mean, whatever providers are seeing patients, whether that's a PA or a nurse practitioner, the government has put the fear of God into these people, and they're afraid to write any prescriptions for pain medication because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble. Now, I mean, I can understand sort of in an emergency room, somebody coming in with something vague saying, they have pain. I mean, obviously, if you have a fracture, that's a different story. But I've heard so many stories about people, legitimate pain, and doctors refusing to give them anything for pain. They tell them take Tylenol, take ibuprofen, take this, take that. I'm sure if the physicians or providers were in that situation themselves, they would want something for pain. So if I am seen by someone who is kind of disagreeing with me, or wants to take things and do it their way, I always say to them, if this were you, would you feel the same way? if you had whatever condition or a painful condition, would you be okay with taking 2 Tylenol if you had a, I don't know, whatever? Would you be okay? Would you be okay if you had your gallbladder out and you were told to take Tylenol afterward? Would that be okay with you? Because if it's not okay with you, then why is it okay for you to treat patients like that? And I'm not saying to give them 10,000 Vicodin, but you have to give them enough Vicodin to get them through at least the first 3 days, if not the first 5 days. And it's always, go to pain management. Well, to get an appointment in pain management, it's months to get an appointment. So what the hell are you supposed to do for the 2 or 3 or 4 months that you're waiting to be seen by pain management? Get nothing? Yeah, I know. Alice, I literally just felt it when I was doing this. Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, I had the Vicodin. I didn't need it. And, the surgeon, well, did you take Tylenol? I'm like, no, I didn't take anything. It didn't really hurt. It hurts more now. Well, I know pain management. Like, I mean, pain management, they deal with a lot of spinal things, back pain, whatever. And so they give epidural steroid injections. But, for other pain conditions, some people need the opioids to live. Like people with sickle cell disease, they live on high dose opioids. So if they have a crisis and they end up in the emergency room staff goes batshit because they're on a ton of pain medications at home just to live from day to day. And now they show up in the ER, and the ER staff gets all pissed off because 2 milligrams of Dilaudid didn't even touch their pain. Well, if they're taking all this stuff at home, it's just Purdue Pharmaceuticals started this whole thing, and they have gotten away essentially scot-free. Nothing happened. They give you garbage you refuse to take. Well, if you go to pain management, if they prescribe opioids for you, there's like this whole contract thing, and then they do, drug testing. Like, what the fuck is this? Is this prison? You're trying to get help for your pain, and you go to pain, and they're going to drug test you in pain. Like, what is this? What country are we living in? And can you imagine go to pain? Oh, we have to do a drug test. So we know if you're taking them and not selling them. Well, guess what? That's not for you to figure out. If they're being sold, that's for the police to figure out. I just have a different, yeah, they count it like they make you feel like you're doing something wrong, like they treat you like a criminal when all you're trying to do is get help for your pain. Oh, we'll count your, like, what is this? Count your pills. Please. Yeah, pain, it is a farce. It is a farce. They don't give you pain meds. And if you ask for pain meds, they throw you out. Yep, they shoot you up with cortisone. That's exactly right. And it's funny because it seems like the treatment du jour in urgent care places is a Z-Pak and a tapering prednisone pack. You go to urgent care for anything other than a broken hand, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a Z-Pak and prednisone for pretty much everything. And it's, I don't know. You know, they say pain is a symptom of, pain is not a condition. It's a symptom of something else. Well, that's great. If the something else cannot be treated adequately to relieve the pain, then you need to do something to relieve the pain. Like I said, you know, go see pain management. Okay, I can't get an appointment for 4 months. Can I have pain medication until no? So then, like, what are you supposed to do? I won't even get into the healthcare system because it's really disheartening to think that we did have the best healthcare system in the world at one point. Not anymore. Oh, they're very constipating. So when you start to avoid doctors, I know people that are in the doctor's office every week and they're not like chronically ill. They just go to doctors if they get a rash. Like when I got the swimmer's itch, it never occurred to me to go to an emergency room or urgent care. I scratched, it itched, but people would have gone to the emergency room for swimmer's itch. When they tell me, come back in 6 weeks to follow up, I'm like, follow up what? What am I following up? I came here for a physical because I need it for my job. What am I following up? The TB test that I mean, like, I make it clear that, you know, I'm not coming in for a social call. If there's something wrong with me, I'll come in, but follow up what? Hi, Alan Elder. Right, Alice. They think you're a drug addict if you ask them for. When I went to the orthopedic surgeon for my shoulder, I had an MRI that my primary care physician wrote me the prescription for, because I said, you know, when I go over to him, I'd like to just have an MRI in my hand. And I did, and it showed that I had all kinds of torn up shit in my shoulder. Like, I didn't want surgery. So the door flies open, and the first thing he says is, I'm not writing you a prescription for pain pills. I said, well, that's good to know. But as a nurse, I understand where you're coming from. My name's Diane, by the way. And that's not what I'm here for. I want an injection in my shoulder because it's killing me. I can't lift my arm up. But I'm not writing you a prescription for pain pills. And so I gave him the MRI and I said, I'm not here because I have nothing else to do. I have ripped up tendons and shit in my shoulder. It hurts. like what kind of, and as soon as I like, and I said something like, well, I'm a nurse. And as soon as I said that, it was like I pushed him back a couple steps and his attitude changed. But I was like, what a dick. So I just, and it's not the doctor's fault. It's the system's fault. The doctors are being bought by these big systems, and they are paid a salary and then bonus. It's weird how it's structured, but they have to see a minimum of X number of patients a week. So that gives them like the flexibility from day to day to day. But their day is not over when the last patient leaves. They have to call insurance companies and fight for these pre-authorizations. I mean, I would never advise anyone to go into medicine or go into healthcare with the situation now. No. What was his name? Richard. No, his first name is Mark, I think. So yeah, that kind of like, it's off-putting. But but I have to tell you, the hand surgeon is fantastic. I got really, really lucky with her. Everybody loves her. And she was actually just voted one of the top doctors it was either in New York or in America for hand surgery. So I really like her a lot. Name Richard. So I have not watched anything really on streaming lately, because I've been trying to figure out this science of marijuana and medical marijuana and how it affects the body. And I predict in the next few years that there will be healthcare providers who specialize in like marijuana treatment for certain conditions. I think even though it's been legalized in a lot of places, I think there's still kind of a stigma attached to it. Maybe not with the younger generations, but with older people. I mean, even my age, it was such a horrible thing when I was a kid. It was so horrible. And now it's the same thing as like drinking a beer. So it's funny to think that like the young kids, they'll grow up where it's just like with us with alcohol. We didn't live during Prohibition. Alcohol has just been legal all our lives. That's how with the kids now it's going to be with marijuana being legal. Oh, is that right, Stat? That's funny. I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, even though I am. But I got to talking to somebody the other day about prostitution and the fact that it's illegal. But why? If you have somebody, and it for most of the time it's a woman, but it certainly can be a man or whatever. If they are having sex for money and they are consenting and they're adults, what's the big deal? You know what the big deal is? The government can't tax it. And when you come down to it, everything is about money. Healthcare, our legal system. Like, you think, why would prostitution be? The government does not give a shit about citizens. They don't. They don't care. All they want is tax money. And prostitution is not legal because they can't control it and they can't tax it. Because if you took the money out of the scenario, they don't have a problem with that. If it's just two consenting adults getting it on the backseat of a car. But as soon as you introduce the payment aspect, then it becomes illegal. How come the neurologist said no? Maybe not marijuana, but CBD is being used pretty widely for seizures now. So the neurologist said no. I'd be like, okay, thank you. Thanks for your suggestion. And I would try the CBD because nothing can happen. Nothing. You can't overdose on CBD. You can't. You can't overdose on the stuff. There's nothing to lose. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, you didn't lose anything. And it'll be sure as hell be cheaper than bringing him to the neurologist all the time. CBD is legal everywhere, Robin. It's hemp. And hemp is legal, federally legal. So it's legal in all 50 states. Alice, that's right, isn't it? I'm asking Alice. That's funny. Yeah. I know, Robin. And with the CBD, you can try the gummies, you can try tincture. It comes in all kinds of forms. For a hell of a lot cheaper than that. Stormy, but you know what? The women are doing it willingly. So it's sad and sordid because of the selling your body type of thing. And who made it that way? The government. So, that's why they say it's the oldest profession. Listen, there are a lot of women that put themselves through college, graduate school, law school by stripping because the money is really good. They have no intention of doing it for the rest of their life. It's a means to an end. Psychotropic effects. Is that right, Stat? That I didn't know either. So if you get too stoned on marijuana, the CBD will cut the level of stonedness. Right. The edibles, they do last longer, and the onset takes longer. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. And this is my personal opinion, yeah, religion made it taboo. You're right. Well, religion just makes sex taboo. Now, prostitution's on a whole different level. I mean, I was raised Catholic. I can tell you all about it. Sin City, level of stonedness. Right. Hemp is legal, federally legal, right, Alice? Softies. But like I said, Robin, try the CBD. If it doesn't work, you haven't lost anything. And it's not like you're gonna be stoned out of his gourd from CBD, because he's not. I gave it to my mother. I've said this before. And because when I took it, it was almost like I was wondering if I was building myself up and if it was real or if I was making it up in my head. So I figured if I gave it to my mother and she doesn't know what it is, she'll tell me the truth. So I put the tincture under her tongue and it wasn't quite an hour later. And I said, "How do you feel from it?" And she was completely fine. And she said, I feel like my head is not as tight. My head isn't tight. And I thought, what a really great way to explain it, because that really is how it feels. It's not like you get it's hard to describe in words, like a relaxation, but it is kind of like you don't get stoned, but you don't feel wound as tight, I guess. And that's, I think, what she was trying to say, is that her head didn't feel as tight. Crackles, you're so funny. She a hoe. You know what? I think this, oh, I don't know, because my ear is starting to itch and tickle now. Funny, you don't get high from it. It's you get, it's hard to explain, because like with marijuana, you'll just be like, and relaxed and tired, but you don't, CBD doesn't do that. You feel, I don't, it's hard to describe how you feel, like not wrapped so tight. I don't know how else to say it. Oh God, seriously, Stormy. Mm-hmm. Anybody raised in a strict Catholic family, if you're not fucked up as an adult, consider yourself lucky. Beth. No. Do you have any idea what I would do to get my hands on a Volkswagen bus? I would drive that thing all over the place. I have always loved those. The love bus. Oldest profession in the world. That's right. Yeah. Her head didn't feel as tight. And that's what they're finding a lot of medical uses for THC and CBD. Well, yeah, I remember in college, I went to college upstate. So what is upstate New York known for? Chicken wings. That was usually the pizza and chicken wings was the go-to after a good party. Yeah. I don't knock anyone or knock any religion except those like really wacky, like the Duggars, those people. But I think in the past, I don't know. I don't want to say anything and piss anybody off. But I mean, my mother was super, 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 super Catholic. My father converted when they got married because I don't think my father was raised with any religion. And I strongly suspect, as does my oldest brother, that my father's mother was Jewish. So they would never say, but her last name was Stein. And I know that Stein can either be German or Jewish, but I'll just leave it at that. You had a VW bus? Be calm. Funny, I would try it. There's really nothing to be afraid of. You can't overdose. You can't. It makes your heart filled with joy. Sing, dance, and pain. I don't know what I consider myself. As I get older, I think as we all do, we wonder, like, what the hell is this all about? Do any of you feel that way? Like, what am I doing here? What is anybody doing here? What's the point? And I could really like let myself go off the deep end if I churned it over and over in my mind. So that's why I try not to. Robin has the munchies. What is this? You have 3 chicken legs, a hot dog, a pan of something. And what is that round thing? A tortilla? Well, the thing is, some religions differ a lot from your basic Catholic, Lutheran, Protestant, your basic religions. Are they wrong? Who knows? Why do Buddhists believe in reincarnation, and in the Catholic religion, it's either heaven or hell. You don't come back. But Buddhists think that so who's right? Is anyone right? I don't know. I think Fundy should try the CBD. What does everybody think? Oh, I love bagels. Yum, yum, yum. Now, can we discuss bagels? After eating a bagel from a bagel shop, how I I would never buy a sleeve of Lender's bagels. Um, it would never even occur to me to buy like Lender's bagels. I don't know. You know, Stat, I kind of too, but like I said, who's right? Is anybody right? Oh, okay. I don't know. That's one of the things that I give to Holly and Zoya in their little mixture of thunderstorm and fireworks chill protocol. I give them CBD. Michael, you know, I don't know if the brand is all, I know that it can't, wait a minute. That's THC. That can't be shipped state to state. Because I know that you can order CBD online. I've had a couple brands that I liked. One of them, it's called Charlotte's something. What I tend to look for in CBD are the higher dosages so that you don't have to use as much. Because the tinctures, you put them under your tongue, so you don't want to put like a whole lot of the liquid under your tongue, or else you can't hold it there. And then for the dogs, I gave the dogs the same CBD that I would use. I just do it in the correct dosage, so I don't have to give them as much, and it's easier to give it to them. So I tend to look for strength on the bottle that's like 3,000 milligrams, 3,500 milligrams, 5,000 milligrams, and it can be hard to find in those higher doses. But I don't know what state you're in. See, there are a lot of smoke shops that have opened up out here, and they all carry CBD, and they carry different brands, they carry different strengths. And the one place that I go to, they have higher potency CBD. And of course, the higher potency is going to be a little bit more expensive, or depending how strong it is. It is overwhelming because there's just so much stuff out there. And like I said, every single week there's more and there's more. Like they have all of these different, I don't even know what you call it, strains. Like I know with THC, there's, you know, Granddaddy Kush and purple something and whatever. And the non-THC things, there's Delta 8, there's Delta 10, there's like THO, so all these different letters and initials, and they all have different effects. So to go talk to somebody in a smoke shop and ask them what you're looking to get out of it. Do you want to go to sleep? Do you want to relieve some pain? And they'll guide you to the right things. I'm certainly not an expert in it. Average slender cats. Oh, I had a VW bug. Loved it. I loved it. You wonder about that? What's it all about? You could drive yourself crazy because you're never going to know. Not in a lifetime, anyway. I think that's a good thing to do, Crackles. I think that spirituality is a better word to use, because if you look around you, there's so much that we take for granted, I think. Look all around us and you'll see beauty. And where did that come from? Like, somebody had to have come up with this. This didn't, I don't think this just didn't happen, did it? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I wish I did. Oh my God. Alice is cooking up grub. Chicken wing, hot dog. Oh, it's bologna. Chicken and macaroni. Yeah. H&H bagels. Yep. Moderation is key with everything. And we all like fuck up, slide off the wagon, whatever you want to call it. Like I had been the same size and the same weight since high school. And except when I was in grad school for anesthesia, I got fat then too, because I was on call doing 24-hour call shifts, trauma shifts. And I think my body didn't know what to do. So it didn't do anything. I was so exhausted. And then when school was over, like the weight fell off. I didn't even have to do anything. And I know that the weight gain was situational. I was eating like shit. I mean, I wasn't eating a ton, but the stuff that I was eating was no good. And then I was depressed. And it's all, and when my clothes started to get really, really tight and I was going to have to start going into larger clothes, I was like, oh no, that's not happening. I bought a bigger bra or a couple bigger bras, and that was it. That was it. But now I don't need the big bras anymore. Oh, Kaiser rolls from a Jewish neighborhood. Love it. The Jewish delis, you get the best stuff in there. Bye, Robin. Electric knives always scared the shit out of me. I always just had these visions of cutting my fingers off with them. Oh, God. Oh, corned beef on, now I'm going to want one. A corned beef on rye. Michael, yes. But the CBD, like, I think it was Stat that said it. Gummies take longer to work, but they do last longer. So if you do a tincture under your tongue, it'll it'll act faster, but it also leaves faster. So depending, if you want to sleep, I would say that probably a gummy is better than tincture because it lasts longer and it'll carry you through the night. Yeah, I mean there are smoke shops everywhere now here. Ever since, I'm gonna have to say, it started off with like CBD, and then in, when was it, 2021, when marijuana was legalized, there places are just selling it. They don't have a license or a permit, and they're not doing anything to them. You know, these places are just selling it. So yeah, a lot of hybrid strains. Well, that's what this woman that I found through somebody else, I think she does it herself. She's like hybridizing stuff in her own garden, and I mean, she's got a whole like greenhouse full of marijuana plants. THCO, yep, THCV. There's one that's THN. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you have to really, there's just so much to read and so much to learn. Really, Stat? How can that be? If you have marijuana plant, flower, well, they call it flower, right? How can it be synthetic? Good night, Carolyn. I'm about ready to say good night too. What it's all about. Yep. I had the Volkswagen Bug in Florida, and it was the green color one, and it was a turbo. Why I needed a turbo Volkswagen Bug, I don't know. But in Florida, my boyfriend had a chocolate lab, an old chocolate lab named Ashley. Ashley was blind, and she was just the sweetest, so sweet. And I had Tiffany, who was a mini dachshund. I got Barney for my birthday. He was a beagle. And then I adopted another beagle from the Broward County shelter. 4 dogs. And Ashley was different because she had different needs. She was old, she was blind. So my 3 dogs I would take to the vet. And this one particular day, I took them all together and came up to a light. The window was down, and Tiffany was in the front seat with one of the beagles, and they were hanging out the window. And then the other beagle from the back seat was hanging out the window. And the person that pulled up in the car next to me was hysterical laughing. It must have looked like the clown car at the circus with all the dogs like falling out of the Volkswagen. Hi, B. So I knew this was going to happen, that I think I'm going to have to do these later because everybody's coming on now. Glenda size bras, not quite. But I was like, what is happening? Like, does menopause make your boobs grow? I don't think so. It was the fat that was making my boobs grow. Put them in a holder. Because some drugs, there's something called a first pass effect. And some drugs have to be metabolized in order to get the breakdown of the drugs, because it's a lot of times the breakdown, what the metabolites in the drug, that's what you're looking for. So she hates bras. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Yeah, every breath is a blessing. When are my lives? I don't know. Whenever I think of, I have something to talk about, or I don't really have any schedule. I'm not that exciting that I can have a live like every week or something. Stat, I'm so glad you're here too. Like I said, I had a feeling this was going to happen. And actually tonight I was going to watch to see if more people came on later, because if that's the case, then I will start them later. Because I like to have people interacting with other people. Beagles and bugles and bagels. The one beagle I had, the one that I adopted from the Broward County shelter, she was funny. She had the true beagle woo. And when I got home, no matter from work, if I went shopping, whatever it was, I would pull into the garage and woo, woo. I'd walk into the house, and another 10 or 15 minutes, woo, woo. She was so happy when I got home. And it was the true Beagle Bay, and it was so loud, so loud. It was just too cute. Oh, Moonchild, thanks. I'm exciting too. I am not exciting. I'm just whatever. But I like the interaction because I like learning from other people. And I think all of you do too. So it can only be a good thing to learn about marijuana and CBD and all these different things. Like I really started getting into it several years ago when the adopted Chinese, the teenager, the CBD like eradicated the seizures. And then my friend's mother, I was like, there's something else to this stuff. This is not just for hippies. There's something to it. Yep. She had such a big woo, woo, and she would walk around the house, woo, woo. It was so funny. So funny. 9:25. This started at 6. Oh, I hope you feel better, Crackles. That sucks. So I'll start it later next time. Like, well, it's getting darker here earlier. I think it's starting to get dark between like 8:20 and 8:30. And I hate that because I know it's not going to be light really late. Because I love it when it stays light. So like 8:30, 8:45. I love that. But Dan and Fran. Yes, I have, Stormy. I actually just watched a video this morning, actually. So adorable. Oh my gosh. She loves him. It's so adorable. I love it. The one I just watched this morning, she jumped up into his truck. It was so cute. Good night, B. I'll say good night too. Got to let these girls out and give them their dentals and their bedtime goodies. I mean, if anything exciting happens to me, I'll have a live, but and maybe I'll do them more regularly, but I'll try to start them later so we can have more people. So thank you all for coming. It was fun. Go to TJ Maxx, get your Korean beauty products. And I hope you all stay well and feel good. Everybody, let's try and feel good and be well, and no falls and no fractures and no surgeries. Yeah, so we'll do it again. Thank you for hanging out with me. See you next time. Love you guys. Thanks. I will try not to hurt any body parts. This is the only hurt body part for now. And hopefully I'll be able to do something with it. I'll see you next time. Love you guys.